guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a little different than what you guys are used to me doing. This is the evening of the craft fair. I'm more completely out, but I don't like being non-productive. But I physically just don't have the strength or energy to do any of like my physical products that I need to do right now. So I am going to work on some of the kits and folios and stuff like that I've been designing. I've got like bits and pieces of different ones designed that I've not released yet. And I have a few things that I really need to finish up. And so I got my iPad out and I was going to sit down and start working. And I said, now would be just a good time to bring you guys along with me and just kind of show you what I do. I probably do things very weird compared to what most people would do because I don't know all the technical things. I don't know that. I just know how to get the stuff done that I need to get done. So it's going to be more like craft with me or design with me type thing. Just simply for the fact that it's going to be crazy. Some of you may be like, what in the devil is she doing? So it'll be kind of Canva and Photoshop together. So when I'm starting to design, I normally start out in Canva and I start out with a solid shape because I'll take this over to Photoshop when I get done. So for this, let's say I want to put this in, let's say we're going to make this like a pocket kit or something to layer onto a page in your journal. So I am going to go ahead and get started. This is my back. So this is what I want my main design to be. So I'm going to actually change this color to black. I'm going to work in black and white. So now I have this this design here, but I want to have a border, say, around it. I know there are easier ways to do it, but this is just what's easiest for me. So then I just duplicate the design that I had, but I change the color to white, and then I make it just a little bit smaller than the original box. And it'll stay like this in Canva, but when I take it to Photoshop, it will be one solid image. Okay, so we've got our back. That's our back page. Now, if I glue this in to a journal and I glue it down on the page on 3 sides, I'll have an opening here. So I am going to need a tag or a journal card or something that will fit behind this shape that I have created. So I'm just going to tap on my white one. And I'm going to duplicate it if it will duplicate. Okay, so let me change the color of it to black. And I'm going to go just a little bit smaller because I want it to be able to fit in that background. So now let me duplicate that again, change that color to white, and I am going to make that have the border around it. And like I said, I do things probably a little more different than most people do, but I just have to do how I can make it work for me. Okay, that's good. I mean, I want that just a little smaller, but there we go. I think that works. Okay, so now I have my main page that'll be glued down 3 sides. Now I have my tab that'll go in there. And so now let's make, say, a pocket to go on the front of this right here. So I'm going to get another shape Let me see if it's got one. There's one with rounded edges, I think. So let me use that actually. So let me delete this one. Let me put that one in there. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to move it. And I am going to size it to the size that I want to go on the front of this pocket. Okay, so I want that black. So now I need to duplicate it, change it to white. And I want to make it a little smaller so that I can have my my outline for when I go to Photoshop. And like I said, I'm sure that there are easier ways to do this, but this is what works for me. Okay, so that's close enough, I think. I think that'll be good. So what I need to do, let me make it just go a little more. That looks good. Okay, so I'm good with that. And I'm going to leave it like that because I can separate it out once I get into Photoshop. So now I need a tag that will fit in this pocket right there. So I'm going to take another one of these shapes eventually. I'm going to put it right here, and I'm going to leave myself some room, but I want to make sure that that tag is going to fit inside of the pocket that I have created. So I've got that, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to change it to black. I'm going to duplicate it, change it to white, make it a tad smaller, and put it in there. Okay, so that's our tag. But we know that a tag is not really a tag, and you know, we want it to have that shape, that tag shape. So let me show you how I get that. Then I go over here, and you see this shape here in Canva. This kind of looks like a tag. So I can pick several different ones that I want to pick. I think I normally use the octagon when I'm doing a tag. And so see, I can do it just like that. I can bring this on up, bring this on down a little bit. And I think that looks good, so let me do this. Change the shape to black. I'm going to duplicate it, change it to white. I'm going to make it a tad smaller. I'm sorry guys, you can hear my boys out in the background. Now I'm going to take this, I am going to position it to the back. And now look at that. You see that tag? So that's what I need to take into Photoshop. Now, what about if we want to put a pocket on that tag that's going to go in this pocket that's on the pocket on the inside of the journal? Yep, you guys know I do things crazy. So now I'm just going to do the same process that I did. I've got my my little pocket. I'm going to duplicate it, change it to white, make it a tad smaller. That rooster is chasing them boys. That is the meanest rooster, guys. I don't know if y'all can hear him. Okay. So we've got that little pocket. Now I think to go in that pocket, I think I want to have a journal card. I don't think I want it to be a tag. Oh my God, guys, I'm so sorry. Okay, so there is my journal card. And so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to duplicate it, change the color to white, make it a little bit smaller, put it in there, and there we go. Excuse me. So this is enough to get me going. So I am going to download these images with as a PNG with a transparent background. I'm going to hit download. Now it's saved it. So now I'm going to come over here to Photoshop. I'm going to create a new one. I am going to go to my photos. I'm going to pull that one up. If it's pulling up, sometimes my Photoshop goes crazy. I don't know why, but it does that. So I just have to pull again. So now see it loaded. So I want to make sure that I go ahead and get it all the way to the size that I needed. I am going to hide the background layer in Photoshop, and then I'm going to flatten the layer that I just brought in. Now I have this. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my magic wand. I'm going to delete that white in there. I'm going to delete this white, and then I'm going to delete this white. So now I'm left with my 3 basic elements that I need, but I can't really work with them like this. So I'm going to duplicate this layer, hide it, and then duplicate it one more time. So now I'm going to go back and work on the layer that is visible. I am going to take my marquee rectangle, and I am going to draw a rectangle around what's going to be the pocket. I'm going to mask that, flatten it, and then I'm going to hide it for right now. Now I'm going to unhide that second layer. I am going to draw a marquee rectangle around our page base. I'm going to mask it. I'm going to flatten it, but I still have this one in here. So I'm going to draw that marquee again, but this time I'm going to hit erase. So now I have that. I'm going to hide that. Now I'm going to this layer here. I'm going to draw that marquee rectangle around this one, mask it, and then flatten my layer. And then I'm going to hide it. Now I'm going to take the little pocket and I'm going to move it to the second layer, and I'm going to have my page base. That's my bottom layer right now. Now, excuse me, I did delete the white out of it because I had the pocket and all in there, and this is just the best way for me to work. So I need that white back in there. So I am going to put it on the fill. I'm going to put it on white, and I'm going to fill that card base in. Now, here's the next thing that I do, that I will duplicate this layer, hide that second layer. Now I'm going to go back over here to the first layer that I was working on. I'm going to choose Magic Wand, and I'm going to tap the white. And hopefully you guys can see that the white is selected. But this time I'm going to mask. So now I've isolated that white rectangle, and I'm going to flatten that. I'm going to hide that. I'm going to unhide that second layer that has it all. I am going to do the magic wand and highlight the white layer again, but this time I'm going to erase and then deselect. So now when I unhide that bottom white layer, look guys, I don't know if you guys, I can do it green. Oops, so that you guys can see. It's still on white. Why is it going to white? There we go. So see, I can hide just that area there, or I can hide just the border. And so the reason I like to do that is because when I'm adding, let me see, this is a design I've been working on and I just haven't released it yet. Say I'm going to add this paper, and this would be what I was making my folio out of. When I flatten that down, it's not in the black. That black is an entity all by itself. So I can take that black, I can load it as a selection. I can select one of the colors that's in here. Let's do that. Now let's change it. So see how easy I changed the color of that border without messing with anything else. I didn't have to worry about it, you know, darkening my background or anything. So I'm going to just leave that there for now. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to unhide my pocket. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did here. I need to, let me just go ahead and move it first. Okay, so I need to fill this in with white. And so then I need to duplicate and hide. I'm going back to the original one. I'm doing the magic one. I'm hitting, you know what? Let me do this in green before I even start anything. I'm going to take it back down. Okay, so there it is. Let's change this color to a green so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so now I'm going to fill this in. Got it? Now I'm going to duplicate and hide that top layer. I'm going to go back to the layer that's not hidden. I'm going to hit my magic wand. I'm going to hit that green, and then I'm going to hit mask. So it masks just that part there. And I'm going to flatten. Okay. Now I'm going to hide that. I'm going to unhide the next one. I'm going to hit that green layer again, but this time I'm going to erase. So when I unhide that one, I have my green, and then I have the black. So I can take and I can do the same thing. Let's pull a photo in for this. Let's continue with the Paris theme. And let's put, what about like that? Maybe the Paris with the roses and the clock. I think I like that. Okay, so now I'm going to hit the square with the arrow down, and it's clipped it to it. But again, I don't want that black border because that black border is just too much for the paper that I'm using. So I'm going to select the border layer. I'm going to do load a selection, new layer. This is still the same paint color that I used for that. And so I'm going to do that. And so now, as you can see, I have the matching borders. I have my my little pocket that can be layered onto this whenever we go to create the pocket. Let me select some multiple layers and slide it on top of it so that you can see how it would look. Okay. So let's move this. And so see, that's how it would look on your page. Okay. So let me move that back where it was. Now, I am going to hide all of these elements right there for right now, because now I need to work on the little tag that's going to go behind here. So right now I have just the border. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fill it with green so that you guys can see what I'm doing. I am going to duplicate that layer, hide the top layer. And working on that first layer, I'm going to mask that bottom layer, flatten. And so that's good. Now I'm going to hide it. I'm going to get this top layer. I'm going to do the green, but this time I'm going to do erase. Deselect, and then when I hide that bottom layer, you can see it's seamless. So let's do the same thing. Let's do something layered on here. And I am thinking, let's just do some coffee dyed paper on this one. And again, I don't want that black. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to load a selection, new layer. I'm going to get that brown again, hit the paint bucket, and there we go. So now we have this that would glue down onto our page. And let me show you where this would, how this would glue down. So I've got a new layer, so I'm not going to mess anything up. I'm going to put it on the green paint. Let me make sure it's on normal. It is. So when I go to glue this down into my journal, on the back side of this, I would glue, that's not very bright. You can't see that. Make it a little bigger. Okay. So I would glue here, here, and here. Because this card here, this will slide in to this. Let me show you. If I take, let me select multiple so that I can move them all at the same time. If I move this card here, and see if I were to take and do just like this, see how it's got the space? So it would come in there and set just like that. So that's what I need for that. Now I have my page back done. I have my tab that's going to go behind it. And I have my pocket. But this is all that'll fit on this page right now. It's just these two elements. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to export those. Okay. Now I'm not going to delete the files that I have right here right now. I'm just going to select multiple and I'm going to hide these visible layers. Okay, so I've hid those. Now I want to unhide that little pocket, wherever it is. Oh, what have I done? I'm messing up. This is what I need to do. I'm getting confused as to which pockets I was unhiding. Okay, so now we have, excuse me, that. So now I need to pull in this photo here. And again, I'm going to make it the full size. I'm going to flatten the layer. Oh, it went to another one for some reason. Okay, I'm going to flatten the layer. I've done that. So the next thing I'm going to do is same thing like I did before. I'm going to hit the magic tool. I'm going to do that, hit erase. I'm going to select that white, hit erase. I'm going to select that white and hit erase. Now I am going to duplicate this layer, hide it, and then duplicate it again. I'm going to go back to this original layer that is not hidden. I am going to do my marquee rectangle, and I am going to pull out the pocket that I have created for this tag. And I'm going to do that, mask it, and then flatten it. Now I'm just going to move this out of the way. It can go right there. Now I'm going to unhide the second one. I am going to do my marquee rectangle around my tag. I'm going to mask it and flatten it. Now I'm going to draw the marquee around that pocket again. I'm going to transform it so I can get it all in there. But this time I'm going to hit erase. So now I have my tag and I have my pocket. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take the pocket and I'm going to move it above the tag in the layer. So I'm working on just the tag now. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to fill that with the green. I am going to duplicate it, hide. I'm going to go back to that layer there. I'm going to hit the magic wand, tap that green. I'm going to hit mask and flatten. And then I'm going to hide. Now I'm going to the one that has the border and everything. I'm going to hit that green again, but this time I'm going to hit erase. And so I've erased it. And now when I open the green, you can see it's a tag. So let's add a photo on that to layer down. And I'm just looking, I'm thinking maybe some ledger. I'm gonna mask that down. And again, I'm working on this layer and I don't want that black border. So I'm going to select the border of the tag. I'm going to do Lotus Selection, New Layer. I'm going to hit my paint bucket, use that brown again, and do a new layer. So there's my tag. Okay. So let's go move on to the pocket. So we've got this little pocket. Where is it at? Right here. Let's fill it in with green. Let's duplicate it, hide that layer, go back to the original layer, hit our magic wand, hit the green, mask it, and then you have to flatten it because that applies the mask. I've done that, so I'm going to hide that. I'm going to open that other layer that has them both. I'm going to hit the green again, but this time I'm going to hit erase. Now I'm going to unhide the green. You see I have them both. Now I'm going to take where on the green and let's put an image there. And let's do this. Okay, and now I'm going to clip it down. And again, I don't want the black border, so I'm going to load the border layer as an selection. I'm going to do New Layer. I'm going to hit my paint bucket, take it to that brown, hit it, and boom, there we go. Excuse me. So the next element in this is this journal card. So I've unhid the layer that had all three. I am going to do the marquee rectangle. I am going to get that journal card isolated. I'm going to hit clip or flat mask and then apply it. Now I'm going to take this, I'm going to move it right there because now it's not in the way of anything. I am going to do the same thing. I'm going to fill that in green, duplicate, and hide that layer. Then I'm going to select the layer that's not hidden. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to hit Magic Wand. I'm going to tap that. I'm going to hit Mask, Flatten, Apply Mask. I'm going to hide. I'm going to unhide the layer that has both of them. I'm going to hit the green again. This time I'm going to hit Erase and then deselect. So now when I unhide the layer that we had filled, now it's the same way that it was. And let's do another image to go on top of that. And let's go with one of these right here. I want that background. I'm going to now clip it down. It's clipped down. Again, I do not want that black border. So I'm going to load this as a selection, New Layer. I'm going to go over here to the brown, paint bucket, fill it in, and boom, there you go. So now, excuse me, this page edition is pretty much done with the exception of adding whatever ephemera that I want to include in the kit. Whether it be some tickets or something like that, it's done. So let me show you. So I'm going to export the image, save it. Now I'm going to go back over here to Canva. And I'm just going to go to Add Page down here. I'm going to go to Uploads. I am going to upload files. I'm going to upload those two images that we just worked on. So we have this. Okay, so this right here would be the page pocket. Okay, so I've got that. I'm just going to put it down here just so that you guys kind of know what I'm doing. So this is the page journal card. So let's do page journal. Whoop, I need a space, or did I put a space? Maybe I did. Journal card. And I do need to make a tab to go on it for sure. Okay, so let's make that a little smaller. Okay, so we have that. Now let's go over here. Let's upload, oops, not that one. Let's do our second page. Make it larger. Let me duplicate this. So now this is our tag. Stupid thing. I can't see it, so this is a tag pocket. Okay. This is the page pocket right here. So let's duplicate. Hey, this is the tag. This is the tag pocket. Oh, I'm losing it, guys. So this is the tag. Y'all, I can type. I don't know what the deal is. Okay, so this down here is the page pocket. So let's do this. Okay, so now we have our page pocket. Let's put it down here. Okay, and then this is our tag journal card. Okay, so now when you look, you can kind of see how everything will come together. So I need to do a tab for this. I might put a tab for here. So there may be a couple of other things that I do. Like if I want to do, let me do this. Let me go to frames. I think that's got a good, actually, I'm just going to use the shapes again. And I am going to use this right here as my tag, or my tab, because if you fold it over, then it's got a nice place to fold in the middle there. I'm going to change that to black, just like I've done before. I am going to duplicate it. I'm going to change the color to white, make it a tad smaller, and then put it in there. I want it bigger than that though. Okay, so this would be our tab. So the wording would go this way and this way. And so I just need to make some more ephemera and that kind of stuff. But this is how my design processes start when I'm doing like a folio, a Matchbox Mini or anything like that. I come to Canva, I get my basic principles laid out and done. Then I go to Photoshop, and that's where I start combining everything. Then I bring the final image back to Canva, because this is the easiest way for me to save it. I can save it as a PDF, an SVG, anything like that. So that's why I use Canva. So I hope I didn't confuse you guys anymore. I really hope I didn't. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I don't mind answering. It might take me a little bit to answer, but I promise you that I will answer. But thank you all so much. I do appreciate it. And I will be doing a recap on how things went at my craft fair today. I'm just too tired to even deal with it tonight. But all right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.